Hello and welcome to the 50th episode of Angry Birds Comedian 1996. Yes, superstar Luna knows Rants. This time, it will be on Caillou's Ultimate Punishment Day, the worst punishment day video made by Paper Luigi 99, who is a big-time child abuse user. Anyways, enjoy. Caillou's Ultimate Punishment Day is the worst video to ever exist on YouTube. Here are the reasons why. Starting off, 1. This is the worst punishment day and Caillou gets grounded video ever created, and involves some of the most brutal punishments out there. Also, it looks more like an animated movie you'd see on Encyclopedia Dramatica than YouTube. Beyond. 2. Boris, Doris, and Rosie, and just about everyone else in the video are at their absolute worst here, as they abuse and torture Caillou to no end. They enjoy seeing him suffer, which is very cruel, sadistic, deranged, mentally insane and unstable, heartless, along with them being a danger to the public and in a real need of serious therapy. But if you continue reading, it only gets worse, as explained below. To rub salt into the wound at the end of this video, they even get away with it scot-free afterwards. 3. It features morbid and disturbing punishments, while also being resurrected through the use of clones every time he dies, so that he can experience all of the punishments his family arranged. This would make Child Services and the FBI so furious at them for what they did. To list all of the punishments, they include being harshly spanked by Boris as a wake-up call, being thrown down the stairs, laying down in a bed of hot coal, being hit in the head with a sledgehammer, actually Thor's hammer, being spanked by a cat o' nine tails, multi-tailed whip made in the 17th century that was used by the British to inflict severe pain on sailors, having his head buried in a bucket full of bullet ants for half an hour, eating a glass ornament, which could possibly rupture his throat, being burned to death by propane, being blasted into the front yard by Goku, getting run over by a car, getting cut to pieces by a lawnmower, having his face disfigured by a cheese grater, being tossed off an airplane, rat torture, sticking his hand in a rattlesnake den, being chained to a rock while letting a scorpion drip venom into his eyes, being thrown off Burj Khalifa, being continuously banged into a pit of spikes, getting electrocuted by an extension cord, having his penis cut off by a 1000 degrees knife, forcing him to kill and eat Gilbert, which is very sadistic and heartless. And the worst one by far, Boris raping Caillou, which is incest and sexual abuse, which makes Boris a pedophile and have to register as a sex offender, and it also encourages and promotes both pedophilia and child porn. How did Boris clone Caillou? Human cloning is a crime against nature. The lab Boris has with the cloning machine is illegal to own. While self-explanatory, the punishments are very fatal. Why would the airport security allow the three to punish Caillou, instead of taking action? Did they bribe the security? Why is Boris in the plane's wing? Wouldn't he die? Why is the Burj Khalifa security doing nothing? Did they also bribe the security? How did they get to those places less than a second? In the part where they destroy Chuck E. Cheese, how did they get a rocket artillery? It's illegal for civilians to OWN. In fact, they have done property damage and terrorism for destroying the Chuck E. Cheese, which might have innocent people there, though we only see Dora and her mother Elena who were both killed in the blast, which also means they killed 2 people. Why are the neighbors doing nothing about the torture and letting it slide? Lastly, why are the authorities doing nothing about all of this chaos? 4. If this was realistic, Boris and Doris would be facing multiple death sentences for their actions and lose custody to Rosie, while Rosie, being a minor, would be given multiple life sentences without parole. First-degree murders, child murder and filicides charges, crimes against humanity, unethical experimentation, bribery, trespassing, assault, vehicular assault, battery, child abuse, child endangerment, torture, sexual assault, incest and rape, pedophilia, property damage, terrorism, snuff filming, illegal possession of military equipment, possession of prohibited weapons, use of weapons of mass destruction, coercion, animal cruelty, disrespecting the dead. 6. After the punishment day ends, Caillou goes through a state of mental trauma. It all ends here when Caillou decides to meet his fate by committing suicide. Even worse, Boris, Doris and Rosie records his suicide and celebrates his death, which is pretty heartless as it's considered disrespecting the dead. It also should be noted this is snuff filming, which is also a crime. 7. Boris, Doris, and Rosie went unpunished for their horrible actions to Caillou and never gotten arrested for it, making them insufferable karma. Houdinies. As stated above, they received some special treatment from the law, and what kind of justice system is this? And finally 8. It proves that it isn't worth watching, and it should not be given any attention. It goes to show that this video is hard to watch, easy to ignore, and just forgettable in general, due to the mean-spirited moments, child abuse, murder, and you get the rest. So that's all for today. Peace out.